thank you everyone for being here. Today, we have assembled here digitally from different countries and different time zones to celebrate the life of Anil Rao. Anil has migrated to a different plane of existence. He is around and will be around us because he has left an indelible mark on us in many ways. For me, I feel Anil was very much like the laughing Buddha, a symbol of happiness, contentment, and prosperity. Laughing Buddha is one of the most loved artifacts. I have one at home, and whenever I pass by, I remember Anil. Laughing Buddha was also considered a man of good and loving character. Some Buddhist traditions consider him as a bodhisattva, usually Maitreya, a future Buddha. His protruding stomach and jolly smile have given him the common designation, Laughing Buddha. In my corporate career, I have never come across a person who was as positive-minded as Anil was. He had a can-do attitude to almost everything. He was an A performer always. In all appraisals I did during my career, his used to be the shortest. The guy would score excellence on most parameters. So once the top grade used to be conveyed in the shortest possible time, we used to get on to discussions about food and films to know what's new in town. He was such a sutradhar. He brought all of us together. If you ever need to find out something about someone, you know who you need to go to. And that was Anil Rao. That was Anil Rao for me. I forever remember him in that form. He may be in some other form right now, but I would only ask God to keep him and his soul with him. With that, I'd like to open the floor for anybody who would like to go in next. So let's start. Kayo.
Okay. I had a very short time with Anil, and although it was a short time, but as you said that, yes, he was a very positive man. And many times he had given me guidance as well as just the shoulder to hear my griefs and my pains. And I think that is very essential for a good friend to give a shoulder and a ear, especially. He was a very kind-hearted soul. And all I miss him, that every morning I get up and I see his good morning, how are you? And every time I used to say, what is so good about the morning? And he used to always answer me every time a different message. And then finally one day says, how about you changing the question, how life is about with you in the morning? So, I'll definitely miss that morning messages of mine. And I honestly pray that his soul may rest in eternal peace forever. Thank you.
Thank you. Gitanjali, would you like to go in next?
I actually wrote something down, so I didn't want to waffle and take away a lot of time, and wanted to get some thoughts in surely. So I've just mentioned remembering Anil, his beaming smile and his quiet way, the dichotomy there, helping so many in the office with that MI, sharing difficult situations and even a good laugh. He was always up for that quick vada pav across the road from Puranmal's, or a walk around the office block for some fresh air. Very comforting to have him around. He was the go-to person on many, many occasions. And he always inquired about the family, always, every day, without fail. It was unbelievable. Doesn't matter the stress at work, he always did that. So may his family receive the strength to cope, and may Anil's soul rest knowing that his CPD friends will continue to always love him and cherish the times we spent with him. We will miss his presence for sure. I certainly will. Thank you.
Malini?
Sure. For want of not sound, breaking down, I too wrote down a few words. What a dear friend Anil has left behind are many, many memories of laughter, hope, warmth, sincere friendship. Today, we have come together to grieve his untimely passing away, but as he would only would have wanted us to rejoice him for his positivity, happy-go-lucky demeanor, we, the CPD staff, raise a toast to this jolly good fellow. Every time I came to Dubai, I would give him a call and somehow he would organize at least a small meetup or come home with Chechi, Aka, Jay, and Sita. His big-heartedness and the will to want to catch up with friends make him a very special soul who will always live in our hearts forever. There are so many anecdotes with Anil that we can recount, but the way he made each one feel so special is the one quality that is the topmost. We are praying today to God to give his wife, Nivedita, and his son and daughter the strength to get through this very trying period, and may his soul rest in peace. Thank you.
Can I go next?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Kamla, yeah.
What can I say about Anil? I think what his life has taught us is it's not the length of time that matters, it is how you use that length of time and spread the joy. And, you know, like I mentioned immediately after his passing, the fact that none of us have anything even remotely negative to say about him, all that we have about him to share and say is positive things, joyful things, speaks volumes about that person. And he has touched each one of us in ways which I can't even enumerate. I mean, even if we have not been a part of HSBC, he's always been in touch. And I still remember we spoke on the 25th of December, and who was to know that this would probably be the last conversation we would have? It's absolutely shocking. I'm sure he's in a better place. I'm sure he is in a happier place. He's left all of us bereft of all of that happiness and joy. I pray to the Almighty that he gives Nivedita and the two kids who are so young all the strength to bear this loss. And whoever is in touch with Nivedita or the kids, I want to relay this message that, you know, he may not be there, but his family of CPD is still there. And whatever help that family needs, be it for the children's career or whatever, I think we should all, you know, pull in our own ways with our connect in any which way we can to help that family in times of need. I put my hands up for that help, and whoever else can join should join too. That's all I've, you know, I'm too shocked to say anything beyond this right now.
Thank you, Kamla. Thanks for mentioning that we are all there for him and his family, and we'll definitely do something about it. Ambrose.
I really didn't have anything written down. I've been in the last, since Monday, I've been trying to figure out what can you say about this guy, right? I mean, like, he was so integral part of CPD. I think that it just like, I mean, I would need like a week to sort of talk about it, right? So I just to sort of relate something that happened in the last few days, I was talking to one of my colleagues and I sent her a picture of Anil, and I, you know, just as your conversation, I was telling her that this friend had passed away. And she looked at the picture and she said, "Oh, he's such a nice guy." And I said, "Oh, you got that from the picture?" Like, and she said, "Yeah, like, you know, he looks like such a nice guy." And I think that was true with Anil, right? What you saw is what you got from him. He was like you never sort of, he was an open book, like, you know, there was nothing, like if he asked you something, there was never a double reason why he asked you, or, you know, like, to me, he was just one of my most trusted aide that I had in CPD in that 12 years that I was there working. I think that's what made him so special to most of us, right? I mean, in the sense that you got to know him in 5 minutes. And what you knew of him in that 5 minutes is what you knew of him in the next 15, 20 years that you knew him. He never changed. He was always that steady influence, calming, you know, humorous. And what I always remember, he used to always be a mentor to all the new people who came in. Like, he just sort of thought this was my sort of calling here, you know, I'm going to like sort of take charge of you, and, you know, whatever you need, I'm here for you. And I remember those girls in the UAT team in Dera, you know, even those little office boys who used to work in our embossing room at the back, like, they looked up to him as though he was like a father figure to them. And I don't know what influence Anil had over these people, but it was never sort of to use them or anything. It was just that, like, he was an like sort of father figure to a lot of people who had no voice, like sometime in our office, right? I mean, he was that sort of a person. I'm going to miss this guy. I mean, because it looks to me like the 12 years or 13 years that I worked there, and every time I wanted to know something about CPD and I couldn't recollect what it was about, I would give Anil a call and say, hey, you remember what happened here? And he knew exactly how it started, how it spanned out, and how it ended. So he was like, he was my brain at, that memory of CPD that I had. And I think I'm going to miss him. And I've been really struggling in the last 4 or 5 days with this loss. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's going to be a long time for us to sort of, come to terms that he's not going to be there in this WhatsApp group anymore. I think he is the glue to that WhatsApp group,
Yeah.
like every month. Right? He's the one who kept everything together, right? Every time there was a fight with somebody, we're not agreeing with somebody, he would jump in and try to mediate this. And
He started this
guys,
group, Ambi.
exactly. And so, like, he has been the glue, right? I mean, keeping the CPD team together for this since people have left and moved on and gone on. He was the guy who kept all this together. Yeah, so I think, like Kamala said, whatever his family needs, like I know his kids are really young. I spoke to him on Christmas Day and I was hoping to see him, but yeah, unfortunately, won't see him.
Thank
Very
you.
unbelievable.
Thank you. Hema?
Yeah, hi. Yeah, I mean, when I heard the news, obviously it was shocking as it was for everybody else. And I was just thinking that I probably had the privilege of meeting Anil even before he joined the bank. And a long, long time ago, I don't remember how many years, we had been sent for a week-long training on MS Project. And he was working for this company. It was an external company that was running the sessions, and Anil was the teacher. So I had actually met him for a week, maybe a year before he even joined the bank. So I was delighted to see him because we really enjoyed his sessions, and to see him actually get a break with the bank was like really good. And although I left CPD a long, long time ago, up until December, Anil was in touch. And whether it was Makar Sankranti or whether it was Diwali or whether it was the Independence Day, there would be a message from him every single time, even after 20 years. And I used to always, my birthdays, he never forgot. And there would be a message. And I would always say that the next festival, I will beat him to it. And of course, it was early in the morning. I'd say it's because India is ahead. And so he got a head start on me. But he would always remember. And like somebody mentioned, whenever someone came into Dubai or, there would always be this call saying, let's meet. So the laughing Buddha thing that you said, Atul, is so perfect, because I was just thinking, every time I think of him, I think of a smiling, laughing image. He never had like a bad day or a sulky, irritable mood or whatever. So there's something for us to remember and maybe learn to imbibe like on a daily basis. So yeah, I'm with Kamala, like any help, whatever, I put my hand up as well, and may his soul rest in peace. Thank you.
Thank you. Subhashi?
Morning, good afternoon, good evening. Everybody is in different media. I should have been much happy to have such a union if it was on a different note. I am sure if we have conducted such a thing, sure it should be done by Anil only. He should have taken the lead. But unfortunately, we are doing this in favor of Anil himself. In fact, I was the person who was interacting with all of you about his health conditions and everything there on a daily basis. Like first, his wife called me and said that he's sick. What happened on that day? Briefly, I will tell you. He early morning, 3 o'clock or so, he had some breathing problem. So fortunately, his brothers, everybody was there at home. They were having a home reunion or some get-together, some function was there last night. So in the early morning, they took him to the hospital. In the hospital only he had the cardiac arrest. But they tried to revive him, but there was a gap of 2-3 minutes. Then they artificially bring his heart back. So during that small period, the oxygen supply to brain was stopped. That's why he had the damaged brain. Brain was damaged. Half of the brain was not working. And his, I know his niece and her husband. She's married to a Keralite guy. Both are doctors. The guy is working in RCC, cancer center, and he is a oncologist surgeon, and his wife Amrita, Anil's niece, is also a surgeon. So I was in touch with them on a regular basis, and they were giving me updates always. Mostly in the earlier days, they were telling that there was not much hope. But I was not telling this because this group was visible to Anil's family also. That's why I was not revealing everything in the group. So those who have personally contacted me, I told them this is the condition. It's not a good condition for him. And they were not having much hope on him during the early days. But fortunately, later on, things have developed a little bit. Then they were able to remove the ventilator. Then later on, they moved to ward from the ICU. Then slowly, things were getting better. Even this doctor who was not very, he was not feeling very comfortable saying that Anil will be back like that. But in fact, last few days, he was also saying that certainly there is some improvement. And his wife was saying that when you call his name, he was smiling a little bit. And lately he started moving his hands and all. So they were 100% sure that he is coming back. That's why his son was going back to Dubai to continue his internship there. So he has reached the airport. From there only they have to call him back. And his daughter was working in Pune in some private firm. She resigned the job there and she also came on the same day back. So that because Anil will not be back to action for many days or many months like. So she decided to look for a job in Mangalore itself. And this was the condition. But that time again, this massive cardiac arrest, how it came, how it happened, even doctors doesn't know why it happened. So everybody was hoping that he's slowly he's coming back. We are all thinking that, even doctors were thinking that way only. So unfortunately it happened, what we can say. Today his elder brother called me to invite every one of us for his religious functions are there on 10th, 11th and 12th, 3 days. Whenever I was going to Sharjah, because last 10 years, at least once I was going to Sharjah to participate in the Sharjah book fair. The one person I definitely meet is Anil. Whatever the case, wherever, somewhere he will make time and meet. The last time I met him was in 2019 book fair. He was waiting in the stall book fair. I was coming from Dubai, that time traffic, I was in a traffic jam and it took more than 2.5 hours. This gentleman was waiting for me 2.5 hours in front of our staff. Our staff were all astonished. They were telling me how many hours he is waiting for you. That's Anil. Even after he came back from UAE, we used to continuously in contact. He used to call me. I used to call him. Very, very frequently, I was in touch with him. That's all I can tell now. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Subhashji. Thanks for giving us regular updates on his condition. And it's nice that you have kept in touch with him and you kept us also together. Thank you very much. Next, Bishara, would you like to start? Bishara and Jerome.
Thanks, Atul. I think everyone said one thing about Anil. I mean, we'll always remember him for his laughter and the happiness that he basically shared with all of us. So we're definitely going to miss him. The morning messages, just that smile. I think even all the photographs that we post, you always see that smile and that laughter in him. So I think everybody remembers him in a different way. They all have antidotes to basically share. And so that definitely means he touched all our lives in a different way. So I know when I left Dubai, I mean, Bishara was still at CPD. And it's often, I remember, Bishara telling me, oh, Anil gave me a ride back home today. I missed the bus. So, in the small ways, he would help. So definitely going to miss that man and wish the very best to his kids and his family as well. Thank you, Atul.
Thanks, Jerome. Amir.
Thank you, Atul. So I joined CPD in 2005, May 22nd, 2005. And I met Anil and obviously knew him for a few years. I just prepared a few notes while you all were talking. I only have fond memories of Anil, and these are some of the words that describe him. He was sincere, people have said, and I would echo it, he was always smiling, positive, willing to help. The way I look at him, he was a clean soul, he was an all-around nice guy. And I mean this in the nicest way. To me, he was like a warm and cuddly teddy bear. And may he rest in peace with his creator. Those are the words I have for him. Thank you.
Thank you, Amir. Pradhan, Pradeep.
It was really a shocking news, and to see that he's no more. So we used to get his comments every day in the group. Let's hope his family gets courage to run without him. That's all I can say.
Thanks, Pradeep.
Yeah.
Viju?
Hi. I mean, though we were in the front and we had very limited exposure to the back office, but every occasion we had as a CPD event, I mean, Anil was the highlight. I mean, nobody could miss out that. And the fact that, I mean, we were staying in the same area in Abu Shagara, every time I met him on the street, whether it was the supermarket or just walking by the park, I mean, his smile and laughter, it's just like unimaginable that he's no more, I would just say that he, even though work-wise, such a limited interaction for a couple of years, but the impact what he's left on all of us, like even though we are not part of HSBC, we still were together as one CPD unit. He was one of the main person who kept us all together. Sincerely miss him. I met him last at the Medina supermarket and I took that picture with him when he was in the car. It's got very clear, vivid memory of it. Just can't imagine that he's no more. That's it.
Thank you, Viju. Ajay?
It's still very shocking and difficult to accept the fact that he's no more. A lot of people in the HSBC office still remember him. Apart from cards, though I worked with him in cards for 4-5 years, 18 to 20 years, I have been knowing him in different roles and helping out people, even for the corporate social responsibility, whether it's any charitable program which was sponsored by HSBC, Anil was always there. First person over there, smiling, and quite a shocking thing. A lot of people don't know him by name in building, but still, when you show his photograph and they say, yeah, we know this guy, he was quite jolly, he was used to pass by without passing a remark, he would never go. People miss him, do remember him. And sad that we have lost such a good person. What can I say? I can only pray for his soul to rest in peace and give strength to his family. Anything which I can do for him, I'll be more than happy for his family. Thank you.
Thanks, Jay. Alfie?
Anil to me was kindness and compassion. And when I listen to everybody speaking, there is a theme that comes up with Anil, which is he brought people together. Okay, as Malini said earlier, this group was formed by him. And even though it's been probably 15 years or more since I've seen Anil, Anil was one person who always kept in touch. And that really requires commitment and love. And I pray for his family. And I can only imagine Anil's up there in heaven, making everybody else laugh and cracking jokes and ordering food. And I pray his soul rest in peace.
Thank you. Natarajan?
Thanks, Anil. I have been working with Anil very closely, personally and officially also. Right, like everyone has mentioned, right, there is nothing which you can say bad about him. It's all, it's the helping hand which he gives, the support which he gives on, whether it's official or personal, you have his shoulders to do this. Right, one thing even after I left CPD, right, I used to get in constantly touch with him and, talk to him personally and, about officially about something which happens within UAE, right, sector. And one thing which vividly I remember is, last year my daughter was doing a charity thing. He was first to jump in and he paid my daughter was expecting a small amount and he was one of the top, amount payer in her list. And she was like shocking to hear that she was also feeling very bad on hearing this news. It's the same with me. And mentioning about the group which he has been there, right? I used to sometimes write about in Tamil, and he used to insist me on giving a translation of that, and and then come back and say, oh, it's very nice. So he was a very lively person, and surely we will all miss him. And like everyone has mentioned, any support to his family, you can include me in. And may his soul rest in peace. Thanks, Atul.
Thank you. Shelley, you would like to say something right now?
Yes. Hi, everyone. Since Monday, when we got the news, it's been really sad. It's been a sad week. And for me, Anil was the first person who reached out to me both the times when my parents passed away, both the times, talking to him for an hour on the phone. Like, it's been so difficult. That's all, when I heard the news, that's what came to my mind. We were praying so hard. We were there in the prayer meetings. Malini, thank you for arranging those with your sister. And yes, he's in a better place. Yes, he's in heaven, but I still feel he should have been here. He should have been here for his family. He should have been here for his kids, for us, for the moments that we won't have him to talk to. And, he messaged me on New Year's. We talked. We always chatted here on and off. I haven't met Anil for almost 20 years, but never lost touch. Always there, reaching out as though very close person and friend. So yes, he will be missed. He'll be dearly missed. Okay, thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Priyan, like to go next?
Yeah, thanks, Atul. Anil, everything everybody has said is so true. He was one of the most genuine people you'll ever come across in your life, and a person who'd always help people. And also, not only that, technically, he was very, very competent as well at work. So he was pretty much an all-rounder. And I used to meet up with him off and on when I used to come to the UAE, and Kamala and Keith those days used to organize some few get-togethers. And he used to always make time and come. And I also remember sometimes he gets a bit upset because there's one day or a month or week he fasts. And invariably that get-together is organized on that day. And he says, I don't know why you guys organize it always. We plan it on that day. And, he will be very, very sadly missed. And, we'll all be there for his family. And if they need anything, just reach out. And I mean, that's the least we can do for him. And may his soul rest in peace.
Thank you, Priyan. Shafeen?
Yes, sure. Thank you very much, Atul ji. So in the best interest of the time, a few words quickly. So I feel like, he's gone too soon. And I would suggest, like, if it is possible in remembrance of Anil, can we do some charity work, at least, like, in his hometown? And I'm sure, like, Hema and Natarajan also would remember. On a very light note, I would like to share this one. So once I remember, Hema suddenly asked Natarajan, hey, where is this joker? So Natarajan immediately responded, like, are you talking about Anil? Yeah. So such a character. So it's very sad, like, we lost him. Yes. And as Subhasji always says, like, one of the wicked guys in our CPD. And Anil, as you know, Anil always loves to, pull leg of almost everyone. So he has a habit of, like, shouting out loud on the floor, hey, time pass. Yeah. So whoever responds to that will become his victim for that day. Yeah. So that's what I remember. And I'm sure, like, many things, like, many of us want to, like, want to share here. So let us give this opportunity to others also talk about Anil. So Anil, wherever you are, rest in peace, brother. So Om Shanti, and thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Shafeen.
Thank you.
Suku?
Yes, Atul. Thank you, Atul. I also believe it is too early for Anil to leave this. But one thing what everyone should learn from him is every quality of Anil is really good. There are something which we after his death we should realize that we should have some control over food. We should do proper exercise. We should have timely medical checkups. These all we need to now, because he has gone. We need to actually everyone. Most of us have crossed 50 or 60. So these are the things which now everyone need to take care of. This is a lesson from what we need to get from Anil, because these were the things where he lacked. That's what I believe. I don't know whether it is true or not, but that is what I feel. Anyhow, my pranams, and may his soul rest in peace. Thank you.
Thank you, Sanku. Ralph?
Thank you, Atul. In simple words, a great human being. I thank the God Almighty for his life, and most of all being part of my life too. We were colleagues initially. Within no time, he became a close family friend. I'm going to miss him. May his soul rest in peace.
Thank you. Roshan?
Hi, Atul. Yes, thanks. I think everybody shared their sentiments. I have pretty much have to agree. Anil was a live wire, crack jokes always, pull everybody's legs, and got to know him in and out of the bank. It's very, very sad to hear that he passed away so soon. I think, like some of us hear that good guys live soon. So may his soul rest in peace. Thank you.
Fatima?
I do agree with one of our colleagues who was telling to take care of ourselves and all. It's not only at the age of 50s or 40s, I think. It's from day one when you start your life. I mean, your professional life or studying whatever life. Like I'm in my mid-30s. I think we all should take care of our health and all. And my prayers are with his family. And I cannot say anything, just only his beautiful soul rest in peace, inshallah.
Thank you. Yeah, that's an important message, Suku, and I'm sure that if Anil had come back, he would have said the same thing to all of us, having gone through it. But he is in some other place, but then I think the message is very clear. We need to take care of our health. So Preena?
What to say about Anil? I mean, it's been almost 20 years since I came to India and never felt for a day. I mean, we are all together here. I feel it's because of Anil that, the whole CPD still feels connected, and a kind of personal touch we still have with each other. His good morning friends message in the morning, we've already started missing. He's the one who's kept all of us so well connected. I somehow feel like, he never liked anybody to discuss any kind of politics on the group or any kind of, touch anybody's religious sentiments. So I hope and I wish that we continue to let this group be a fun-filled group the way he always liked. So with that, I would like, just say that wherever he is, he should be happy the way he has kept all of us happy here. Thank you.
Thank you. Noreen?
Yeah, I spoke to Anil on December 31st, and it was the same Anil that I had spoken to in 1997 when I first joined HSBC. He hadn't changed a bit. And had I known that was the last time I was going to speak to him, I would have definitely talked much longer. I agree with everything that everyone said. One thing about Anil is he never had anything negative to say about anybody. People got angry, people got mad at each other, but Anil, he was the same. He never had an iota of ill will towards anybody. So I hope he rests in peace, and I hope his family has the strength to deal with his loss. And thank you for organizing this. I mean, we're all together from all walks of life because of him. So I hope he rests in peace.
My little brother, friend, mentor, supporter, and Annadatta. All in a nutshell, that was Anil to me. He fondly called me Chechi. He was such a positive person, always had a smile and no grudges, knew everyone in the bank, and always ready to help anyone without any expectation. Anil and food goes hand in hand, like the two sides of the coin. He introduced me to many snacks: misal pav, usal pav, vada pav, koki, khari, parathas, and whatnot. He used to bring food from home, which his wife used to prepare with so much of love. Need those sandwiches, and he used to bring it to the office and share it with us. Whenever he brings food, he used to call me from the pantry. He said, "Chechi, jaldi aao. Garam garam leke aaya hai." And if I don't turn up, again he used to call me, "Chechi, jaldi aao. Kya kar rahe hain aap?" That was the kind of behavior. Well, today he's no more with us. He's left us in deep grief, a void which cannot be filled by anyone else. May your soul rest in peace, Anil. We love you, and we don't accept that you've gone. You've left us. God bless.
Well, a small message from your Sitamma, Anil. Yes, that's how he used to address me. Sitamma, Enna Sitamma. Anil, I'm still not in terms or come to the reality. Since for me you have not left us and are deep within each one of us. And you will remain fresh as ever. Anil, a multitasking or all-in-one package person with humbleness, smiling. I don't know what all good things he has in him, has left us unexpectedly, and hence, and I'm maybe I'm a very emotional person, and everybody for that matter is not able to take it. He was special and a very dear person to every CPDite, and had had a very good bonding with the entire HSBC family, be it regional office or any branch office. You name Anil Rao, and everybody knows and looks at him with a smile. He was always, I can remember him, he was the first person in the department to self-introduce any newcomer who comes into the department. He would take that staff around, he will go and he will introduce himself. I am Anil Rao, come, I will take you to all the departments. And he would arrange, and he would introduce to all the people, and then he would make sure that person is comfortable and not feel lonely. And he would also arrange send-offs too in the same way, just as he invites new staff. He brought a smile in all of us, and he was a very, very great personality for the whole CPD family, and hence this meeting today that was arranged yesterday. And if it wouldn't be for every one of us or for all of us, but there are some people who are really special, and he has touched each one of us. It's not about us alone. To me, I find that he has been, he used to be updated with every person in the family, and everybody's family members' details also. To that matter, not a single birthday has passed, Anil, that you have not wished my daughters Shruti and Preeti, even till now, during this birthday, you had called and you had wished my daughters. No Tuesday morning would pass, friends, without him bringing peda and the mystery sweet from the temple after worshipping Lord Ganesha in Dubai temple. And he would come and slowly keep it under my desktop and give a broad smile with that red kumkum on his head. That face I can never forget. I can never forget.
Hi Atul, thank you for organizing this for our dearest friend Anil, who we of course have very unfortunately lost. I remember hiring Anil into HSBC, and in my stint at HSBC, one of my biggest contributions to HSBC would have been hiring Anil. Professionally, of course, he was amazing, and he completely changed the face of marketing in CPD Sharjah for all of us. And to think a marketing person could have been so involved in the HCC conversion, etc., was just simply out of the world for all of us. But what I really loved about Anil, more than his professional part, was what an amazing human being he was. He and I were really close, and I have very fond memories of fasting throughout Ramadan in my time in the Middle East, and almost every day Anil would be the one who would bring some really amazing things to break the fast. We all know how much he loved food, but more than his love for food was his love for all of us, and a lot of that was shown through the kind of food that we shared. I must have spent a lot of time with him and a few other very close friends during my time at Sharjah, and I can never forget that. I can't believe that he is no more. I mean, I just can't accept that. But I do want to convey my special regards to his family. He got married while he was working with me. He had his first child while he was working in my team, and I have very fond memories of visiting his house, and I think celebrating his daughter's first birthday was a very special day for all of us. I do want to wish the family, convey my deepest condolences for this huge loss, and sending them all my love, strength and courage to face this huge loss. Thank you so much, Anil, for all that you've given us. I'm so privileged to have been a part of your life and you being a part of my life. Thank you and God bless.
Hi, my name is Sanat. I'm a close friend of our beloved friend Anil. I was deeply saddened and shocked to hear about the sudden passing of Anil. I worked with Anil at the HSBC Card Center long years ago, but he was one person who was always in touch with me. I have had many memorable experiences with Anil, and during my times at the card center, he was a very jovial and a loving person who was always with a smile, and a person who would not say no to anyone who went to him for any help. Though I left the HSBC card center in year 2000, Anil was still in touch with me. He in fact called me when I was in New Zealand a few times just to find out how things are. And even last year he called me to wish me on my birthday. We will all miss him very dearly, and please convey my deepest condolences to Anil's family. May his soul rest in peace. Thank you.
I still can't believe Anil is not with us anymore. In fact, the other day when Malini said the departed soul, I was like, I had a lump in my throat. It still hasn't set in that he is not there. I mean, for me, Anil is always fun, frolic, and so full of positivity and enthusiasm. At every point of time, any day, any occasion, he was always full of smiles. Nothing brought him down. Really, really sad that this had to happen so young, so sudden. I remember chatting with him, I think, a month back. Of course, festivals and birthdays and wedding anniversaries, he would send me messages. I really don't know what else.
When I think of Anil, what comes to my mind is a smile, laughter, a positive, never say die attitude, and of course, food, food, and food. I still cannot believe that he's not with us. We spoke as recent as 2 months back and were always in contact. Anil was the glue which kept our group together, our HSBC group together. But for him, probably, like most of us would not have stayed in touch with each other. He was like the string which connected the beads in a necklace. Anil, I will always cherish our friendship. Remember your help and support during my days in Dubai. Anil, I know you will be watching this video. I want to assure you that I will always be there for your children and family. I will stay in touch with them and will always be there for them. Take care.
It's been a pleasure to have Anil as part of our lives. Known him for over 20 years, from the very first day I joined HSBC. In fact, I had the pleasure of working with Anil twice, first in CPD and later in change delivery. A man always ready to help everybody around him, no matter who. In office, helping make our lives easier. He taught me systems, how to run queries. Not just office colleagues, but everyone, whether it was office boys, security guards. Many of us know how many charities he was involved with. We did spend a lot of time together, loads of laughter along the way, whether it was the hours in that small CPD cards room counting blank cards on almost a daily basis, the regular breakfast and lunches, and some visits to the Hard Rock Cafe for a pint or two. In fact, in one of those visits, when the two of us had gone out to Hard Rock, we decided to create this WhatsApp group. He was always the life of all parties we had. I want to preserve those positive memories of Anil. If I were to summarize, Anil was an amazing soul, always there to lend a helping hand to everyone around him. While he left us early, he did live his life to the full. He sang and danced at every opportunity. He ate and drank to his satisfaction and never missed a laughter. His positive energy was truly contagious. God bless your soul, Anil. Rest in peace, my friend.
I'm finding it very difficult to express my grief and sorrow on losing a very dear friend and colleague who suddenly left us so unexpectedly. I had known Anil for almost 25 years, as I too had joined HSBC way back in 1996. Anil was the glue of all our get-togethers, the life of our party. His love for food and sharing of food was renowned. His ever smiling and grinning face is so vividly imprinted in my mind. To some, he was a colleague, to others, a guide and a mentor. To me, he was not only a colleague at work, but a friend who I could depend on and go to at any time of day or night to seek any help or advice, or just even share a happy news I may want to share, and if required, a shoulder to cry on. He was the kind of person who would help others without making the person feel awkward or even obliged. Anil has no doubt left a huge void which would be impossible to fill. But I can take solace in the fact that he's finally at peace and is in a far better place he deserves to be. Dearest Nivedita and Sahil, please accept my condolences. I join others, family and ex-colleagues in praying to the Almighty God to give Anil's soul eternal peace, and to you and the family the strength to bear this huge personal loss. As they say, time is the biggest healer. Om Shanti.
Also, two things I wanted to add. One was Thimal sent a message that he couldn't be in here today because I think he's turned COVID positive and he's not feeling too well. But he wanted to pass on his deepest condolences and also offer any support and help to the family that that we all decide we want to do. The second thing is, I don't think Sharon is in the call, but Sharon was mentioning to me that because of Anil, she'd gotten involved in a lot of charitable work that he's doing after he went back to India. So I think Shafeen raised a very valid point, which is, we probably should do something to support. That is something which is very close to his heart. Sharon knows some details, and if we do choose to do something, she'd probably be the best person to kind of guide us on what can be done.
I had also written to John Goddard on LinkedIn, and he replied saying, Atul, thank you for thinking and letting me know. What terrible news. I remember him very clearly. Such a fun character and a lovely man. Do pass on my condolences.
One more person who passed on the condolence to me was Sue Jarman on behalf of Alan Jarman, saying deepest condolences. He's one person who's not only in touch with Alan, but also with the family. And we've also had the chance to meet his family and absolutely shocked at the news. So she'd send me this message the day after I posted the news.
So we miss him and we are there for the family. With that message, I think we can close this call right now. Thank you, everyone.